In this scheme of mass control, sodium fluoride occupied a prominent place, as it still does today. Repeated doses of infinitesimal amounts of sodium fluoride will in time reduce an individual's power to resist domination by slowly poisoning and narcotics in a certain area of the brain, thus making one submissive to the will of those who wish to govern them. The real reason behind water fluoridation is not to benefit children's teeth, as this is the only ploy that the public was given. So they will accept what is given to them. The real purpose behind water fluoridation is to reduce the resistance of the masses to domination and control and loss of liberty. When the Nazis under Hitler decided to go to Poland, both the Germany and the General Staff and the Russian General Staff exchanged scientific and military ideas, plans, and personnel, and the scheme of mass control through water medication was seized upon by the Russian communists because it fitted ideally into their plans to communitize the world. Sodium fluoride water solutions are the cheapest and the most effective rat killers known to chemists, as they are odorless, colorless, and tasteless. There is no antidote to remedies and no hope. It is an instant and complete extermination of rats and cockroaches. There are so many opinions and options of assistance and even cures within the world, and also with the individual's personal awareness. I personally do not recommend anything synthetic, as I have learned and taught myself about all the wonderful and natural things which each level of life already is. I suggest looking to the real guidance and see what takes place in one's dream visions. Those things which have been invented have their purpose, but today and into the future, the humans on this planet will continually experience the misuse of so much that has been created from the minds of the unaware. The basics for survival here are very important, as each person develops themselves to become more aware. The more awareness position is one of the gaining of real perception to all the levels of life and how they apply to each of us, and not just to one level of material hardness. The various levels and how they apply are first, the physical material realm, which is the lowest place in life and is known as a passing dream, as it is solid matter and other stuff of this nature, because the real awareness is hidden so deeply within its boundaries. The embracing of the mind and emotion overlaps the perceptive recognition of the real you. On all the round worlds, everything is formulated from the dirt, which is the lowest vibratory aspects of the sound light reality. And so, as each individual awareness goes through the psychic process of material unawareness, they gain enough experience to eventually become aware of the fact that they are part of a much bigger picture. After millions of various embodiments, including the physical veil, the real you is ready to move from being an unaware soul into becoming new you. Through the psychic process of all that existed here, such as business, religion, politics, brutality, rulership, loneliness, metaphysical teachings, and whatever else one becomes involved with during each reincarnation, the real you becomes tempered to finally meet with the real universal guides. This is when the new life, where the real you begins. All that one has experienced had led up to this new nowness of the all is, and has simply brought the real you into a position to start a journey to real freedom. The second arena relates to the astral worlds and all of the various levels contained within it. This is what I call the first heaven of man. The real you has a body here, which is just the emotional senses and facility of this area. It is not that a person which pops over into the best part of this area, just like where a person lives on the earth, because there are hundreds of levels to the astral realm. From the bottom of the astral world and realm, it is the purgatories of guessing and gruesome areas the people of earth relate to as hell. Those who have done drastically dastardly deeds with their physical life will be sentenced for their term by the lords of the karma and the courts of their judgment, which there is no plea bargaining. So all those smart lawyers who think they are getting away with something just because they follow the corrupt laws that have been invented by sleazy politicians will soon find themselves paying the price. Of course, most humans have been drugged with the idea of belief, so they really do not think what I am presenting applies to them. But when they get to their appointed position, they will find that the idea of belief does not apply to anything. Fortunately, and not everyone will have to experience the lowest parts of life, because there are truly wonderful areas in this astral heaven, which many people will enjoy until they have to return to Earth or another round world to complete their psychic process and figure out their karmic load. Those who have developed themselves with the real universal guides get to bypass this lower heaven and move higher in life. The Lord and ruler here is the brother of the Kaloon god of the mental worlds. Jot is also known by many senses according to the worshipped god of humans, such as Jehovah of the old scriptures. Jot is one of the governors who sent to earth the saviors and saints from the past and threw down lightning bolts and bolts now and then to keep mankind in submission to his commandments. Well, and then we've got the third psychic realm. Do you want to say something about this? The third psychic realm is the causal plane. It's a wondrous area that is part of the mental world and so much more wondrous and expansive than the astral worlds. This area corresponds to one's memory body, where the seeds and experiences of many past lives are kept. Those who are of a psychic nature enter the astral and causal realms to verify certain people or events that have taken place on the earth. The Lord Governor of this realm rules under the jurisdiction of the Kaloum God, Lord of the two heavens of man. The fourth level is the mind power world, home of the Lord God of all the belief systems and businesses. This is the great realm of the rep systems and those who they persuade into their marketing ploys. The Kaloum God and regulations and obedience rules. And here, all levels below, mainly over who are the most unaware and susceptible to his mistress, the influence. Kaloum is better known as a three-headed God by the real universal guides. The first and most prominent face is that of the benevolent head. He sides and likes to share most of his followers and the onlooking public. It is the happy head which appears to be humble and generous to all that come to him. When Kaloum wants his way and looks to subdue those who are not in agreement with his whims and power, if the happy face does not work, then he uses the second head, the serpent. The serpent head drives fear into one's own very being as one sees this diabolical creature which many have seen in their nightmares and portrayed by gargoyles and other creatures experienced on the earth. This is the reason that most people fear their God, because the serpent head will make sure that all the unaware worship the Kaloum God through erroneous love, fear, hate, or whatever it takes to have their will bent to his will. The third slithering head is known as the influence. She is the most deceptive of all, because for the most part, very few really recognize her. The influence is a combined consciousness of all the unaware humans and their thoughts, desires, emotions, likes, dislikes, and anything which is of the lower nature that applies to the silly unawareness that most humans partake in. She actually rules the Kaloum God as he deserves her the most. The mental worlds are the grand arena of such wonder and spectacular beauty. It is here a person may spend thousands of years before returning to the round worlds. A person's dream visions can occur on any of these levels for the most part. There are only a very few who will want to enter the realms and universes of real truth, which are above these. The last body of man is the etheric realm, the subconscious, which lies in the upper mental worlds. The etheric worlds are beyond belief, as they are like fairylands of the most wondrous exquisiteness. It is on this level that the real universal guide brings their new you students and reveals the real you. Without the encumbrances of the lower bodies, this is the first stage of real enlightenment and true spirituality. As one experiences themselves as a being of light, brighter than that of the sun in the sky. The spiritual sense of the four lower realms is that mainly of business, which is very clearly demonstrated on the earth and has nothing to do with the real self. All the lower worlds from this wondrous etheric level are now seen clearly as to what they really are and what is actually taking place. As one encompasses all the true and needed knowledge of the lower realms from this marvelous position, it is from here the new student decides if they will enter the real universes and become a new you leader with the new man and the real universal guides, and help to promote the new wave of the new presentation to all the worlds of the unaware. What I have termed as the sixth level is actually the deep, dark border between the psychic realms and the real universes as the sound-light reality. This area is the dividing line between the lower realms of simulated life and limited embodiments and the great and brilliant universes of true realness, of the true reality, the all is. It takes the radiant light of the real guides to penetrate this area and deliver one into the real light beyond the deception and darkness of the gods of man and their authoritarian ruling bodies. The seventh level is the real home of the real you. It is the first perfect universes of the sound light reality. On Earth, one's body is sustained by breathing, whereas in the seventh level, all that is can only be true aliveness. Here, one is a being of light beyond all the suns of the lower realms. Beyond this level, there are numerous positions of realness until one eventually enters into the most secret and hidden position where resides the great reality, the all is. Very few will ever venture this far into reality, where it takes a great courage and adventuresome being to do so. No matter, all who enter the seventh level are finally beyond the gods of man and obtain real future forever. So it only makes sense for one to pay attention to their dream visions and humbly acknowledge the great guidance one can personally have with those who know life the best, the avatars and the real universes of the guides.